Poland is arming itself like never before, rapidly emerging as the most well-equipped military nation in Europe. In a continent marked by tensions and conflicts, what is driving this remarkable transformation? Discover how Poland is preparing to face any threat and redefining the balance of power in Europe in times of war. To understand what is behind Poland's arms race, we need to understand the current geopolitical context in which the country finds itself. Poland's growing militarization is a direct response to increasing geopolitical tensions in Europe, especially after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the war in Ukraine that began in 2022 with no end in sight. The geographical proximity to Russia and the history of past invasions have heightened the sense of threat, pushing Poland to strengthen its national defense. This context of insecurity led the Polish government to invest heavily in modernizing its armed forces. With an investment of about $130 billion, Poland is acquiring modern equipment such as Patriot air defense systems, F-35 fighter jets, Leopard 2 tanks, and state-of-the-art drones. Besides these acquisitions, the country is reforming its command structures and intensifying military training, aiming not only to deter threats, but also to assert its strategic importance within NATO and European security. The presence of American military bases on Polish soil further reinforces this defensive stance. Domestically, there is significant debate over the economic and social impacts of this increased military spending. While some defend these investments as vital for ensuring sovereignty and security, others question the government's priorities amid ongoing socio-economic challenges. Understanding this militarization requires an analysis of Poland's history of vulnerability, which has shaped its current defensive posture and continues to influence its strategic decisions. To understand Poland's current military stance, it is essential to revisit its history of vulnerability. During World War I, Poland was a crucial battleground, with territories contested between the German, Austro-Hungarian and Russian empires. After the war in 1918, Poland regained its independence after 123 years of partitions, only to face new challenges. World War II was a particularly devastating period for Poland. On the 1st of September 1939, Nazi Germany invaded the country from the west, triggering the start of the war. Shortly after, on the 17th of September, the Soviet Union invaded Poland from the east, fulfilling the terms of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a secret agreement between Hitler and Stalin to divide Eastern Europe between them. Poland found itself crushed between two totalitarian powers, suffering immeasurable human and material losses. During the Nazi occupation, millions of Poles were killed, including 6 million Polish Jews during the Holocaust. Cities were devastated, the population was subjugated, and the country was subjected to a brutal regime of oppression. In the East, Soviet occupation also brought terror and repression. Thousands of Poles were deported to gulags in Siberia, while the intellectual and military elite were exterminated in the Katyn massacre. The Polish resistance, although courageous, was brutally suppressed by both invaders. Poland expected significant support from its Western allies, especially the United Kingdom and France, who had promised assistance in case of invasion. However, this support never materialized effectively. The policy of appeasement and the focus on avoiding a direct confrontation with Germany resulted in the tragic reality that Poland was left to fend for itself. Poles fought bravely, but were inevitably overwhelmed by the combined forces of Hitler and Stalin. At the end of the war, Poland did not immediately regain its independence. Instead, it fell under Soviet influence, becoming a satellite state under a communist regime imposed by Moscow. This period of foreign domination further reinforced the Polish perception of vulnerability and the need for robust national defense, which continues to influence its policies today. This history of vulnerability and betrayal is fundamental to understanding Poland's current determination never to find itself so defenseless again. The historical trauma of being abandoned by allies and crushed by invaders has deeply shaped Poland's national defense mentality, but contemporary geopolitical situations also play a crucial role. Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 marked a turning point in European security, especially for Poland. This Russian action signaled that territorial conflicts in Europe were not a thing of the past, and Poland, with its geographical proximity and tumultuous history with Russia, felt the threat acutely. The war in Ukraine, which followed the annexation, further exacerbated Polish fears. Russian aggression was perceived as an indication that Moscow might attempt to expand its influence over the former Soviet bloc states. This fear led Poland to reassess its defence posture, fearing it might be the next target. The Polish government, aware of historical vulnerabilities and the current Russian threat, decided that a robust response was necessary. This included not only strengthening the country's defensive capabilities, but also bolstering alliances with other NATO members. Poland pushed for a more significant military presence of the United States and other Western allies on its territory, seeking to deter potential aggressions. Moreover, Poland hosts nuclear weapons from other NATO countries, serving as a powerful deterrent against any Russian aggression. In response to this growing insecurity, Poland launched an ambitious military modernization program with a budget of approximately $130 billion. This program includes the acquisition of advanced Patriot air defense systems, F-35 fighter jets, Leopard 2 tanks, and state-of-the-art drones. Additionally, Poland is reforming its command structures and intensifying troop training to ensure a rapid response to any threat. The presence of American military bases on Polish soil further strengthens this defensive stance, sending a clear signal to Russia that any aggression will have serious consequences. Poland is determined to assert its strategic role within NATO and European security, reflecting both its history of vulnerability and the contemporary need to prepare for a potentially dangerous world. Faced with this growing threat from the east, Poland's response has been clear and decisive. However, this stance has not gone unnoticed on the international stage. What do you think of Poland's military stance? Do you think the country is justified in arming itself? Share your opinion in the comments. Poland's accelerated militarization has generated a range of reactions on the international stage. Russia predictably interpreted these moves as a direct threat. Russian rhetoric has become increasingly aggressive, with frequent military exercises in the Kaliningrad region, which borders Poland and Lithuania, and an increase in the presence of Russian troops in this enclave. Moscow views the growing presence of NATO, especially American forces in Poland, as a provocation and a challenge to its influence in Eastern Europe. On the other hand, Poland's Western allies, especially NATO members, have welcomed the country's military modernization. The United States, in particular, sees Poland as a crucial bulwark against Russian aggression and a strategic ally on the alliance's eastern flank. The presence of American military bases on Polish soil and frequent joint exercises demonstrate a clear commitment to mutual defense. Other European countries, although some are concerned about escalating tensions, recognise the importance of a strong and well-armed Poland for regional stability. However, Poland's militarization also raises debates within the European Union. While some countries support Warsaw's defensive stance, others fear that this arms race could further destabilize the region and provoke a new era of military tensions. This delicate balance between security and stability remains a central issue in European political discussions. But how are these changes impacting Polish society internally? Internally, Poland's rapid militarization has generated a variety of reactions. Many Poles view these efforts as a vital necessity to ensure national sovereignty and security, especially in light of the country's tumultuous history and contemporary threats. This sense of security is reinforced by the increased US military presence and close collaboration with NATO, providing a feeling of protection and stability. The sentiment towards Russia is particularly strong among Poles. The history of invasions and occupations by Russia, including the horrors of the Soviet period, remains fresh in the collective memory. Many Poles see Russia as a constant threat and believe that robust defense is essential to prevent future aggressions. This sentiment is widely shared and fuels popular support for militarization. However, not everyone supports this massive defense spending. There is significant debate over government priorities, especially in a country where persistent socio-economic challenges, such as income inequality and the need for improvements in health and education, still exist. Some critics argue that the money spent on armaments could be better used in social programs that would directly benefit the population. Furthermore, militarization has psychological and cultural impacts. The increased military visibility, with more exercises and the presence of foreign troops, can generate mixed feelings among the population. While some feel safer, others may feel that the country is preparing for an imminent conflict which can cause anxiety and social tension. Now, looking at the bigger picture, what are the implications of these changes for Poland's future? The future of Polish defence appears firmly oriented towards continuing military strengthening and strategic alliances. The Polish government has ambitious plans to further expand its military capabilities, including acquiring more modern equipment and implementing new defence technologies. This commitment to continuous modernisation aims to ensure that Poland remains well prepared to face any future challenges. Besides investments in technology and equipment, Poland is also focused on strengthening its relations within NATO and with strategic partners like the United States. The American military presence on Polish soil is expected to increase, with more joint exercises and the construction of new military facilities. These partnerships are seen as essential to deter Russian aggression and ensure regional security. However, the future is not without challenges. The balance between defence investments and social needs will continue to be a delicate issue. The government will have to navigate carefully between maintaining a strong defence and addressing internal demands for socio-economic improvements. Additionally, Poland will need to manage its international relations to avoid escalating tensions and ensure that its militarization efforts do not cause additional instability in the region. In summary, Poland is committed to a future of security and preparedness, seeking to learn from its past and adapt to contemporary challenges. The coming decades will be crucial in determining the success of these strategies and Poland's role in maintaining European stability. Poland's military transformation is a reflection of its complex history and the contemporary threats it faces. The determination to never be caught unprepared again has led the country to invest massively in military modernisation and to strengthen its strategic alliances. With a modern arsenal, reformed command structure, and the presence of NATO troops and nuclear weapons on its territory, Poland is firmly positioned as a bulwark against Russian aggression and a pillar of European security. However, this path is not without challenges. The balance between the need for robust defence and internal socio-economic imperatives will continue to be a delicate issue. Additionally, Poland will have to navigate the turbulent waters of European geopolitics carefully to ensure that its militarization efforts do not provoke additional instability. Poland's future will depend on its ability to maintain this delicate balance, ensuring its security while promoting the well-being of its population. Now tell me, if you were the president of Poland, would you invest in military arsenal or try to appease relations with Russia? Leave your opinion in the comments and let us know what you would like to see in future videos. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel What is Happening. See you next time.